Let me ask you something. When was the last time you slept a full 8 hours and woke up actually rested? Not just rested enough to get through the day, actually rested. If you can't remember, I need you to stay with me. Because the reason you're not sleeping isn't what your doctor told you. It's not age, it's not normal, and it is completely fixable. I'm Dr. Daniel from Movement and Longevity, and today I'm going to show you the real cause of poor sleep after 60. Stay with me until the end, because the last part will completely change how you approach this. If you're over 60, here's probably what your nights look like. You fall asleep, but then you wake up at 3 in the morning, for no reason. Or maybe you can't even fall asleep in the first place. You lie there, your mind is racing, your body is tired, but sleep just won't come. So you go to your doctor, and you know what they say? They say it's normal. You're just getting older. Your sleep changes with age. Maybe they give you melatonin. Maybe they give you a sleeping pill, and you take it because what else are you going to do? But here's what nobody tells you. The way most doctors explain sleep problems after 60 is incomplete. Not wrong, just incomplete. And that missing piece is exactly why the melatonin isn't working. There are 3 specific biological mechanisms that destroy sleep after 60, and age is not one of them. Let me walk you through each one. Here's the myth. As you get older, your body produces less melatonin, so you sleep worse. That's it. That's the explanation most people get. And the solution they get? More melatonin. A supplement. A pill. Now, is it true that melatonin production decreases with age? Yes, that's real. But here's what they're not telling you. Melatonin is not what keeps you asleep. It's what signals your brain to start the process of falling asleep. So if you're waking up at 3 a.m., that's not a melatonin problem. That's a completely different system breaking down. In my clinic, I see this every single week. Patients who've been on melatonin for years still waking up at 2, 3, or 4 in the morning, still exhausted, still told, well, that's just aging. This is not aging. This is biology being misunderstood. The first real cause is cortisol. You probably know cortisol as the stress hormone, but it's also your wake-up hormone. In a healthy body, cortisol spikes in the morning. That's what gets you out of bed, and drops by evening. By 9 p.m., it should be almost undetectable. But here's what happens after 60. That cortisol curve flattens. It doesn't drop as sharply in the evening. So by the time you're trying to sleep, your body still has elevated cortisol running through it. Think of it like trying to sleep with a low-volume alarm going off in the background. Your body can't fully shut down because it's still receiving a stay alert signal. And what makes this worse? Stress, inactivity, eating late, screens at night. All of these keep that cortisol elevated. This is why you can fall asleep, but you can't stay asleep. The second cause is what scientists call circadian phase advance. Your internal clock, the one that tells your body when to be awake and when to sleep, shifts forward as you age. Meaning you start to feel tired earlier in the evening, but you also wake up earlier in the morning, often much earlier than you want to. The mistake most people make? They fight it. They stay up later to fix their schedule. They use blue light at night. They try to force a normal schedule. That actually makes it worse. Your circadian rhythm is not broken. It has shifted. And the fix is not to fight it. It's to work with it using one very specific trigger that most people over 60 never use. But before I get to the solutions, there's a third cause, and this one, as a sports medicine doctor, I believe is the most important one, and almost nobody talks about it. Movement deprivation. In sports medicine, we have a saying, the body that doesn't move doesn't rest. Sleep is not just a brain function, it's a whole body function. During deep sleep, your muscles release growth hormone, your joints recover, your nervous system resets. But for that process to happen properly, your body needs to have been physically challenged during the day. Think of it like this. Your body needs to earn deep sleep. Movement is the price you pay. Studies show that adults over 60 who do less than 20 minutes of moderate physical activity per day spend significantly less time in deep sleep, the most restorative stage. They fall asleep fine, but they float in the shallow end of sleep all night. They wake up exhausted. In my clinic, I see this every single week. Patients who haven't moved much during the day, they sleep the longest hours, but the worst quality. Your body doesn't care how many hours you're in bed. It cares how deeply you recovered. If this is making sense to you, comment "sleep" below. It tells me you're ready to take control of your nights, and I rate every comment. Now, let me give you the 3 things that actually work. Fix number 1. Morning light. Within 30 minutes of waking up, go outside and expose your eyes to natural sunlight for at least 10 minutes. This is not about vitamin D. This is about resetting your circadian rhythm through the master clock in your brain. Natural morning light suppresses the remaining melatonin, spikes cortisol correctly at the right time, and it programs your body to release melatonin again 14 to 16 hours later, automatically. You don't need a supplement. You need the sun. Fix number 2. Move in the afternoon, not just in the morning. Research shows that moderate exercise between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. produces the biggest improvements in deep sleep quality for adults over 60. It doesn't have to be intense. A 20-minute walk, some resistance movements, a few rounds of the exercises I've shown on this channel. What matters is timing. Morning movement is good for energy. Afternoon movement is what earns you deep sleep. Fix number 3. Your last meal and screen exposure. Eating within 2 hours of bedtime keeps cortisol elevated. Screens keep cortisol elevated. 2 hours before sleep, you need a cortisol shutdown window. No heavy meals. Dim the lights. Step away from your phone. And if you can, do 5 minutes of slow, controlled breathing. In for 4 seconds, hold for 4, out for 6. That extended exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the exact opposite of cortisol. It physically lowers your stress hormone and signals your brain, time to rest. Now let me give you a quick self-test so you know exactly which of these 3 causes is affecting you most. Question 1. Do you fall asleep fine but wake up between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m.? That's cortisol. Fix number 3 is your priority. Question 2. Do you feel tired at 8 p.m., fall asleep early, and wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. feeling done with sleep? That's circadian phase advance. Fix number 1 is your priority. Question 3. Do you sleep a lot of hours but still feel tired? Do you rarely exercise during the day? That's movement deprivation. Fix number 2 is your priority. Most people over 60 have a combination of all 3, but one is usually dominant. Start there. Here's what I want you to remember. Poor sleep after 60 is not inevitable. It is not just aging, and the solution is not a pill. Your circadian rhythm has shifted, your cortisol pattern has changed, and your body needs to be moved to sleep deeply. Once you understand that, you have tools, real tools. In my clinic, patients who apply these 3 fixes consistently report a dramatic change in sleep quality within 2 to 3 weeks. Not because of any magic supplement, because they finally addressed the real cause. Aging is inevitable, but poor sleep is not. Comment "sleep" below if you're going to start with one of these 3 fixes tonight. Tell me which one. And if you want to go deeper, I've put a video right here on circulation and recovery during sleep that most people over 60 need to see. Watch that next. I'm Dr. Daniel. I'll see you tomorrow.